Hi everyone, it's Annie from Phoenix Healing. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. It is Wednesday, April 9th, 2025, and I wanted to come on and do a little video about what we can expect with this energy with the full moon on Saturday, April 12th. So this full moon, it's a pink moon, and again, it's on April 12th. So this beautiful full pink moon is in Libra. It's a cosmic moment calling us to release what no longer serves us, to restore balance, release emotional clutter, and realign with inner peace. Um, and it's not necessarily going to be in pink. It's just called the pink moon because of the blooming wild pink flowers and how it represents spring renewal. So this pink full moon in Libra, it means careful evaluation and cutting ties with problematic people. This full moon, because it falls in Libra, it represents a turning point. So the March equinox is often considered the astrological new year. This is why Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and we are in Aries season. So with this in mind, so our April full moon, it's a burst of energy as we move forth into the months ahead. So full moons are the peak of the moon cycle. They are high energy, high intensity moments that can manifest as deeply emotional or, very revealing. Think of it as like a light being shown on a new pathway you didn't even realize was there. The sudden illumination can, of course, be destabilizing and leave you feeling raw, but it also offers you new opportunities should you wish to take them. And of course, that's the whole thing too with things falling away during a full moon, like things of releasing. So Libra here, because this full moon is in Libra. So Libra's influence here is one of balance. If you know, like remember, like it's one with the scales. So this is a moment of equilibrium before the scales tip one way or the other, and it will be your choices in this moment that determine whether the balance tips in your favor. So Libra is a sign of fairness and justice. It carefully weighs up all options before proceeding, and it is this evaluation that will be needed in this moment. It is time to take, stock and recovery in order to move through the rest of the year and burden it ultimately as the best version of yourself. So we'll be free from the chaos and shackles of Mercury retrograde, which ended a couple days ago, thank goodness, on the 7th. So we can afford to be more liberal in our communications. This will be your time to set boundaries, whether that be with your parents, friends, or even with your workplace. It might also be the time you have to say goodbye to a relationship, whether it's romantic or platonic, in order to move forward. Cutting ties with someone is not something that can be done with haste, but here Libra's balancing energy will reveal the truth of your current situation and help you burden that, uh, help you understand that someone else's toxic weight really is not your burden to bear. And it's not, never, it never is. It's why it's important to cut that out, like release things, release people, let it go. So what you need to watch out for. So you'll need to ask yourself if you're giving more to your relationships than you receive back. While close relationships should not involve scorekeeping, you also cannot continue to pour from your cup if no one is pouring back into yours, which is super important because with Libra, it's all about that. Again, that balance, the balancing of the scales. There needs to be a good balance of giving and receiving, and with Pisces oozing its influence over Venus, Mercury, and Saturn at this time, we won't feel particularly inspired to play by the rules when it comes to love. So Pisces is deeply compassionate and can inspire us to make excuses for the bad behavior of those around us, but this will ultimately be to your detriment. So with Mars, our warrior planet, tensely squaring off against the sun, conflict can also be on the horizon if the current situations are not managed carefully. So truly, this full moon will be the inflection point that could dictate the tone for the months ahead. So do what you can do to ensure the scales do eventually tip towards you. And again, because of the sign being in Libra, the sign of balance, beauty, relationships, which is obviously opposite the fiery, self-starting Aries, this really like this new movement will invite us to consider how we move in partnerships with others, whether romantically, professionally, or within friendships. And again, even with family, like whether it's romantic, platonic, it really does have this energy of introducing a push pull between these opposition, these opposite signs. So because that Aries energy urges independence while Libra seeks collaboration, Libra is represented obviously by the scales, as I've mentioned a couple times already, but and again, the sign of fairness and justice. So really this means like this April full moon is really that ideal time to check where your boundaries reflect on like, how if it's an equal balance of giving and receiving of your relationships, and ask whether your life could absolutely benefit from more harmony. Is there a person in your life whose energy is tipping you off balance? Now might be the time to create some distance. Now is the time to let that person go. So this is also a moment for softening, aesthetically and emotionally, like because Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet of love, aesthetics, and pleasure. Beautify your home, lean into the grace in your relationships, and seize opportunities for emotional repair where they occur. So this is definitely a time for one to be reflecting on 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 especially like the relationships and everything that is happening, whether again it's in like the workplace, like it's a friendship, it's a family member, it's romantic, like relationships, like it doesn't have to be romantic to be called a relationship. You're still having partnerships with people. So with this, like, the spiritual significance of this pink moon is, rebirth and renewal, because this represents letting go of the past and creating room for fresh energies to come in. This will be an ideal moment to make vision boards, set aspirations, or begin new undertakings. Healing at an emotional level. Unresolved emotions are brought to the surface for release by this pink moon, which aids in emotional illumination, because during this period, many people may have a greater connection to their inner truth and heart space. Harmony between light and dark. This full moon, which falls just after the spring equinox, symbolizes balance between growth and rest, light and dark. This day promotes mental, physical, and spiritual equilibrium. Spiritual enlightenment, it's an excellent time to journal, meditate, and purify your surroundings with incense or sage to connect with your soul's mission. And increased intuition can happen too. So, pay attention to your inner direction, any synchronicities and dreams. And as like Archangel Raziel came out before, within a couple weeks, so like, yes, the same message there, the synchronicity, the signs, your dreams, pay attention to these messages being guided to you and given to you by the universe, the angels, the divine, the higher realms, God. Pay attention to the signs, and also connection and meditation. So this full moon is also going to promote healing, self-love, and forgiveness. And this day is perfect for reestablishing relationships with loved ones and heart chakra meditations. So really, this is a wonderful time because of how Libra is, it's the sign of justice, the sign of fairness, like equilibrium, like the balance, like this is a really, really good time. And especially with we have like the spring renewal energy and everything around me, that like rebirth, and especially with Easter coming in a couple more weeks. Um, the whole theme, especially if you're a Christian, the resurrection, this is time for rebirth, renewal, like restarting. So it's one of those things of like, if someone or something is not aligning to your soul, to your soul mission, to your life purpose, to your heart, to what you feel inside you, please let that person, that situation go. It's not supposed to be here. And again, I cannot say this enough. In a world year of 9, like, yes, in addition to what someone's personal year is, but especially in a world year of 9, there's so many things that are coming to an end. Like, it's being completed. So, I mean, this is the time where the energy is like gentle and loving for yourself. If you know deep down a certain situation is not working for you, a certain relationship is not working for you, let it go. You will have so much freedom and healing from this, especially when you work with the energies that are supporting you in this time to do that, as opposed to when there's like combustive, conflicting energies happening. This is a wonderful time to release what no longer serves you. So, with that said, on Saturday, I will be doing the full moon reading. So if you're interested in having a full moon reading done by me, you can visit my website at phoenixhealing.com, or depending on where you're watching this video, you can click the link in the bio, and it'll take you to the option where you can click directly on the full moon reading. So with that said, I hope everyone has a really wonderful rest of your day. Please give yourself love, give yourself grace, and, listen to your heart, listen to your soul, listen to you to know what no longer serves you, and let it go. So please just have a great rest of the day. Keep all these things in mind for this coming weekend. And I hope everyone has a great rest of the day and week. So bye.